Good morning, third graders. Today we are going to talk about area of rectilinear figures. So we're going to find the area by decomposing or breaking them apart into smaller rectangles, finding the area of each of those rectangles, and then adding that area together. So to start, to find the area of rectilinear figures, we first divide the shape into two or more rectangles. Today we're just going to do two. So as you can see, it's divided right there into two separate rectangles. Our next step is to find the area of each of the individual rectangles that make up the entire figure. And remember, area is length times width. So for our first rectangle, it's 4 centimeters by 2 centimeters, which is 8. And our second rectangle is 4 centimeters by 6 centimeters, which when we multiply those is 24. Remember, it doesn't matter what order we multiply the numbers in. Commutative property says that we can multiply them either way. Then we have to add up the areas of the two or more rectangles that make up the entire figure. So we need to add our 8 and our 24, so we find the total. And then we have to add a label. So in this case, it's centimeters for each dimension. So our label is going to be 32 centimeters squared. Okay, for this shape, we have to follow our steps to find the area of this rectilinear figure. So we're first going to divide the shape into our two rectangles. Sometimes it can be more, but today again it's just going to be two. So we're going to divide it right there. And then we have to find the area of each individual rectangle. So for our first one, it is 2 by 7. So that's going to equal 14. And our second rectangle is 5 by 10, which equals 50. So the first rectangle is 14, the second rectangle is 50, and then we have to add those together. So we have 14 plus 50, and then when we add those together we get 64. In this case it says all measurements are in inches above our picture, so we know that it's going to be inches squared. Here's another example. This time all the measurements are in millimeters. So first we're going to divide the shape into two rectangles. Then we're going to find the area of each individual rectangle. So our first rectangle is a 3 by 3, which equals 9. And our second rectangle is a 3 by 8, which equals 24. Then we have to add up the areas so we can find the total. So we have 9 plus 24, and then we have to make sure that we have a label. So 9 plus 24 is 33, and in this case it's going to be millimeters squared. For our third example, we're going to divide our rectangle again, our rectilinear, into two rectangles. Then we're going to find the area of each rectangle. So our first one is a 3 by 4, which equals 12. And our second rectangle is a 3 by 10, which equals 30. Then we have to make sure that we add those two areas together to give us the total area of this rectilinear. 12 plus 30 is 42. And in this case, it says all measurements are in yards, so we have yards squared as the label. Another example of rectilinear figures. First, divide the shape into two or more rectangles. Next, we're going to find the area of each rectangle. So the first one is 4 by 2, which equals 8. And our second one is 5 by 7, which equals 35. So we have to add those two numbers together to give us the total area of our figure. 8 plus 35 is 43. And in this one, all measurements are in feet, so we have feet squared. Okay, now that we have worked through the examples, you need to make sure that you complete today's required assignment that is in your math folder in Microsoft Teams. So click on your name, click on math, just where you were to get to this video, and go ahead and complete that short assignment. And if you have extra time and you want more practice, you can do the IXL skills that are also linked in your folder. Have an awesome day.